Hey, you guys. So this is homework time. So I'm coming to you from beautiful Florida, and you see this incredible sunset. It's kind of like a year ago. Remember when we started everything here, when the lockdown occurred and all this stuff. But a lot of things happened since then. And like many of you, I have done the same thing. I've done a ton of reflection of what do I do? What do I want? Who am I? And all that stuff. So today, I want to share with you a homework assignment that I have in one of my classes where I am taking a class with the incredible Forbes Riley, who is just the queen of Home Shopping Network. I mean, the woman just, I think she did like $2.5 billion selling and pitching and teaching and all that stuff. So she's incredible. And I'm learning from her a lot of different things. And one of them is one of the assignments that we have is about knowing what the heck do we want. So this homework assignment, I think I'm sharing it with all of you because I think you would use this, you would be able to learn from it, and you would be able to do it. So the essential part of the assignment is that you meet up with someone, partner, friends, whoever that is, and for about 7 minutes, literally just a question comes every time. What do you want? And you just, whatever comes up in your mind, just say what you want. And my homework assignment is to share this with the world of what do I want. And I just wanted to quickly read for you, obviously explain it, not just read it for you, but it has been, for me, a very truthful, deep awakening of what do I really want. So number one, I'm always very I was always very kind of jealous. Well, I'm not the jealous type, but I was jealous of people who could always say their truth. And even in my own family, the majority of my family members can always say the truth. Everything that comes to their mind, they can say it and they can express it. And I always want to be able to say my truth. The second thing that I want in my life is for all athletes, all high level athletes, not the mediocres, not the ones that are happy with the second or third place, but those who want to win, not because of win's sake, but because knowing that they brought their best. I want to be able to teach those athletes how to break through. Some of them are going to be people that have had a winning streak, like a Jordan Spieth, right? Had a winning streak, but something's happened at that Masters, and I want to be able to bring that person back into that winning streak. And I also want to be able to help those who have not experienced that winning streak to build them up with the right mindset, with the right gut health to do that and really experience what it feels like to win. Again, not because of the trophy, it's because of that process. Then also, I want this is a very deep one for me because since I was a child, this is my third thing that I want. Since I was a child, maybe because I could never decide if I was a boy or a girl. And again, some people are gonna be upset about this, but here's the deal. I am a third daughter in my family. I was expected and hoped to be a boy, and I wanted to please the whole world. So what for me, it just felt like that in my entire life, and again, it may have been just my perception. So all of you men out there, don't get upset with me. It may have been my perception that I always felt like a second class citizen as a woman. And I don't want anyone, any woman ever to either feel like or be like or talk like a second class citizen. This is our world. This is our time for to show for everyone that we are not only not second class citizens, but we are makers of the world and we are the connectors of the world. So that's the third thing that I want. The fourth thing that I want is that I want children at the earliest possible to be allowed to learn that their genius, whatever their genius is, so to provide them with the environment. Like, for example, for my mom, what she has done for me is that she always let me be who I was. And even when I was about to make the biggest mistake of my life, at certain part when I was deciding to be a chemist, she just gently steered me to the other way towards my genius, and I never looked back. So I want children to be allowed to do what they were meant to do, and it may not be being a doctor or a stockbroker or whatever or a lawyer. It may be an artist. It may be an athlete. So for them to be able to experience what really is their genius and be allowed to do that. Now, the fifth thing is that what I'm experiencing now as a professor is that our students in the college level, they get to that point that they are in their college education, and by then they are so anxious. They are such perfectionists. Beautiful sunset, like, isn't that a beautiful, right? So they are such perfectionists, so perfect. It just killing them, is debilitating them in performance. So that fifth thing is what I want, is that I want these. College students to understand that perfectionism doesn't exist, and to understand it as early as possible, and to teach them, to take them out of that test and performance anxiety, and for them and for their families to understand that this doesn't exist. So that communication, that would be great. Now the sixth thing that I want is that people to understand, just like I did, that when we are triggered by something, whatever it may be, if we are triggered by a look, if we are triggered by a word, like for example, I'm just been on Clubhouse talking about, pitching, and some people are incredibly triggered by the word pitching, even though we all know that we have to sell ourselves. I mean, I don't think I have to sell that sunset, but I would have to sell it to some other people. So that word, so to when you have a trigger, any kind of trigger inside you, I want you to learn that it is your responsibility, just as it was my responsibility to take care of that trigger, to neutralize it, to define it, to figure out where is it coming from, so I can neutralize it or eliminate it. Okay, now the seventh thing that I want in my life is for people to understand, just like it took me a long time, and I just don't want people to spend all this time on it, to understand that when we have a desire for something, okay, something, not just a temporary thing, something that comes up for us regularly, something that we wake up week after week, day after day, some kind of a desire. If we have a desire like that, I want people to see, and I want to be able to teach that that desire is not necessarily something that's coming from us. That's a desire that's maybe coming from the universe, from God, from whatever majestic power that we are living with. Because that desire is not what we think of for ourselves. It's a desire that we are made to fulfill. And because of that, if you're patient, if you're allowed for the time to come, that desire is going to be fulfilled, and the tools are going to be provided. So don't rush about it, don't be impatient about it. If you have a desire that keeps coming up, it is going to be fulfilled, and the tools are going to be provided for you. So that was the seventh thing. Now, the eighth thing, really, that comes from something that my mother shared with me a long time ago. That comes with that towards the end of my life, which hopefully is way, way down the road, when, my plan is that being 104 years old and hitting a hole in one, and, having a heart attack right there on the spot, knowing that I just had a hole in one at 104. That's like my plan. But when I'm at the end of my life, what I want is to know that every single day, a moment of my life, I sang the soul. I sang the song of my soul. So that's like I'm trying to translate the Hungarian poem that every person has a song in their soul, and those who hear other people's song in the soul are the ones that are going to be good. That's the ones that are going to be making it. So in some ways, we all have a song in our soul, and I want to be able to sing that song every single day of my life, some way, shape, or form. Whether it's my teaching, my coaching, my athletics, doesn't matter. So that's another thing that I want. Um, as far as my mom is concerned, of course, I would love to provide her. That's one of the things that came up for me. It's always been a big thing for my family, that whoever is needing me in my family, I always want to be able to provide them the most blessed transition out of this life and the path to it. That's one of those things that I would love to have. And of course, the 10th thing that I really want in life is, I have a fairly small family right now, but I want to be able to provide a, not necessarily a moral compass, but a compass for a fulfilled, complete life for them, and to be a role model for them, whether it is my nieces, then my nieces' children when they come. I just want to be able to do that. So these are the 10 things, the top 10 things that I want. There's millions of other things that I want, but those are the top 10 things that I want in life. And I would recommend for you to really look into what do you really want. And if you want to have further education and depth of what you are meant to do, I highly recommend Forbes Riley's courses. There's one a Monday night again about Pitch Like the Pro, and or the one that I'm in is OPP, Other People's Platform. It's just an incredible way, and I will put a link down when I'm done here, just so you for you to follow it. But it is incredible work, and we have to examine ourselves. So thank you for listening. I know it's longer than I wanted today, but thank you so much, and have a fantastic day. And if you celebrate it, a happy, happy Easter. Bye, everyone.